Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have White Fang 2, Myth of the White Wolf. This is a sequel, obviously, to the Jack London inspired White Wolf original film, starring Ethan Hawke back a few years prior to this. This sequel, though, is from 1994. It is an hour and 46 minutes long, and it does not star Ethan Hawke. However, he does have a very brief cameo in the very beginning of the film. I believe it's also a voiceover, but you get to see him as well. It's strange that for an actor who it's like, yeah, you know what, I don't think I'm going to do the sequel, to like put in literally a minute's worth of footage getting in costume, unless they just grab the footage from like a lost clip or something. I don't know, just extra B-roll. I have no idea. Certainly not AI Ethan Hawke. No. So this actually stars Scott Bairstow. Bairstow is going to be the pronunciation of that. He plays Henry Casey. He's actually a friend of Ethan Hawke's character. I don't know why I can't remember his character's name, because I did not look it up. But he has taken over the cabin and also ownership of White Fang. It's one of those awkward handoffs where, yes, the wolf, the dog, is the main character. His name's in the title, but so if you don't have the guy he's bonded with, well, he's got to bond with somebody else, probably his best friend, while Ethan Hawke is off in San Francisco helping family and friends recover from the devastation of a San Francisco earthquake. So I don't know if it was like the big San Francisco earthquake of that time or just but it seemed like it probably was like the big one back then. But anyway, this takes place, I imagine, late 1800s, early 1900s. I know that sounds like a million years ago, but it is basically taking up in Canada or Alaska. I'm not exactly sure, but I imagine Canada, where there's still a gold rush going on, or maybe it's northwestern America. I can't remember exactly sure, but it's beautiful landscape. It's nature all around, and we get Henry just hanging out with White Fang, just living his life, still panning for gold in a sense, using machinery to help get gold from running water. They redirected the water. It's one of the many ways people got gold back in the day, to strike it rich. And that's what he's there. He's here to make his fortune with the help of his buddy, White Fang. Things happen. And I don't want to spoil the whole thing, because odds are, even if you saw White Fang, a lot of people probably didn't follow up with the sequel, unless they were like super fans of it. But I'm going to give you at least a little bit of an idea of what this is all about. I've already forgotten the beginning of the film. They do come in. We do get to meet early on the villain of the film, and that becomes readily apparent when a Protestant preacher has been hanging out with a local tribe of Indians, as they call Native Americans, but they still call them Indians in this era. They're hanging out. He's hanging out with them, and he's, accepting their hospitality, trying to, not accept the hospitality. He's humble. He seems kind. He seems very interested in their souls. He hopes he can convert them. But is he? I don't know. It's you can sometimes very often see the villain in the preacher looking to convert an entire culture as the villain, or you can see him as possibly an opportunist. There's a whole lot more to this character, and it's played by Alfred Molina. Yes, Dr. Octopus himself. He plays a great villain. So in this, he is. You're gonna see him right off and go, yeah, he's a villain. He's got a big secret, and it involves that tribe. And something happens along the way while Henry and White Fang are going down the river. Their boat capsizes, and they both fall into the water. And local girl we meet in the previous scene, a Native American girl, very pretty, played by Charmaine Craig. She plays Lily, and she witnesses them going down the water. Actually, she sees White Fang going down the river, struggling to stay above the water. And when she looks again, the next time Henry comes out of the water, or at least washes up on the water, on the shore, and there's no sign of the dog. Is it a miracle? Is it one of is it the myth of the white wolf come to life? The spirit of the wolf changed into man? You know, it's everybody has their different beliefs and cultures. And that believe it or not, I thought, well, this is just. It almost seems silly in the sense that they try to depict Native Americans as, say, primitive or having strange beliefs, magical beliefs, but it actually figures into the story later on, which I will not ruin. It doesn't, because they're already placing them in contrast with a Protestant preacher. And then these people believe in great spirits transforming wolves into men and things like it. It seems a little demeaning to, at least from the perspective, but it's not, and it actually plays into the larger story. So, but they bring Henry in, and then they kind of revere him, and I was like, hey, this could be the right white wolf that is going to save our village. They put a whole lot of cachet behind this guy because, man, she was sent out to find the white wolf. It was her mission. And he will find her. So they're always speaking in vague terms, and so nothing's solid. And she brings him back to the village, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, he's the guy." And he's like, "No, I'm just a guy. What happened to my dog? Where's my wolf?" And they're like, "Oh, if it was not you, then he's gone." And so we get a separation between Henry and White Fang. Of course, White Fang is alive, and we have two stories going at the same time. Eventually, yes, they're going to reunite, but then once they reunite, a lot of the story leans into Henry and Lily, and also the preacher, which is, by the way, Alfred Molina, like I said, but Reverend Leland Drury. That sounds very preachery. So, Reverend Leland, we get to learn a little bit more about his mystery, and we see Henry just wanting to get away from the village in the first place, and at the same time, kind of drawn to Lily. Lily also kind of gives off the hint that she hates him, which usually indicates that she loves him. It's when she's pushing back that hard. Meanwhile, the chief is kind of like, Henry, she's not one to go easy on anybody. She's not one to. He's like, I'll be dead in the ground before that girl just folds for any guy. It's just not going to happen, dude. Thankfully, I'll tell you right now, the chief does not die, but he provide, his role is to provide wisdom and leadership where it's needed. He's the wise voice in all these things, speaking in riddles half the time, vagaries and things like that. But it's that kind of cliche, kind of old way of depicting Native Americans. Either way, he's a good guy. I don't think it's overly done, but it's still different than how we might depict them these days. So either way, of course, there's going to be a conflict between Henry, White Fang, and Lily, and the Reverend. We're going to find out what the Reverend's up to and why he's so invested in this village. And by the way, the village is suffering because they are supposed to find caribou or something. That's part of their thing. They're starving. That's how I guess they eat. They hunt the caribou, but the caribou have disappeared. Why have they disappeared? Well, you can pretty much figure out why, but how, or you can pretty much figure out who is responsible for that, but why and how have they disappeared? And what can our hero, the myth of the White Wolf, Henry, and White Fang, what can they do? And it's a grand adventure. It's pretty much by the book. It's got lots of roughhousing and gunplay and bows and arrows and fisticuffs. And yeah, we got a solid villain. There's no redeemable aspect to him. He's not like, well, I'm doing this for the greater good. No. I'm doing it for God. No. So and Alfred Molina is just great in just about anything. So he plays, like I said, he plays a convincing villain. So and you'll like seeing him on screen because you're like, I want to hate that guy. I hope he goes down. So it's just, we get the dog. Whenever you see the dog on screen, he's smarter than anybody else half the time. When somebody tries to encroach on Henry's land early in the film, his little cabin, trying to sneak around, this one slimy guy thinks he's going to get the drop on the wolf, and he gets distracted 1 second by a bug or something. He looks up and the dog is gone. Where's the dog? Oh, that growling you hear behind you? Yeah. So it's those fun little moments for your adult or a kid, or if you're an adult feeling like a kid and want to watch a movie, that will make you feel like that. It is a throwback. In fact, I'm looking at the slides for this, and a lot of the pictures are in black and white, made to look like they were filmed in this film was made in the 1950s. If you want to watch this on a black and white TV, you might get the feel of a classic Western. So yeah, you might get that feel of a Jack London adventure. So you get, yeah. I say it's definitely worth checking out if you like these kind of adventures, kind of these throwback adventures with the big rousing scores of just that rollicking score. That you know the sound of old westerns, and I almost want to check to see who did the soundtrack for this, and I'm almost gonna say it's gonna be John Williams or someone very close, but I cannot find it offhand, and I'm not gonna waste your time by watching me scroll through IMDb. So, I want to say it's John Williams because that direct documentary that we watched about John Williams the other day is, just still in my head. I kind of want to watch it again. But yeah, if you get the chance and you want to watch just another, and maybe you haven't watched this ever, maybe you're like a Jack London fan, and the films never will live up to the books, and this is a sequel. I don't think this is based on the book. It's sort of just a branch of the original film, and of course it has a different lead character. What are you gonna do? And by the way, with Ethan Hawke, when I say he's in this, but he's uncredited. You have to dig deep on IMDb to find him in the list. So check it out if you're looking for something with an Old West flavor, but a 90s movie structure. This is it. Let's pick tomorrow's episode. 231. 231. Come on. Scroll too far. Oh, okay. We got a short, and I don't know how short of a short this is, but we'll see. We'll find out. Because The Blue Umbrella. Sometimes these shorts are like 20 minutes long, and they're not that short, but this could be 3 minutes long for all I know. I've seen it a lot, but I don't know if I've seen it before. This actual thing. The Blue Umbrella is what we're watching next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.